25CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. ESPN's Brian Windhorst told Get Up today there have been productive conversations between the Warriors and Draymond Green about going forward together, but there's no deal in place. Green, as expected, declined his $27.6 million player option, will be a free agent July 1st and able to listen to offers. He likely returns to Golden State, but it will involve some compromise, explains Windhorst.
I think he's going to stay a Warrior. I mean, I wouldn't guarantee it because, you got to hash out the money. I don't see how they're not going to be able to. They're going to be able to do it unless they can get Draymond and Klay to consider taking pay cuts. And so Draymond would opt out of 27, maybe take a reduction, and they would give him some years where he could get his guarantee up.
Brian Windhorst on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Klay Thompson is entering the final year of his contract. Suns and Wizards still working on finalizing that trade to send Bradley Beal to Phoenix and Chris Paul to Washington. Paul today told Fitz and Harry he was surprised by the trade news, understands it's a business, though. He also said he'd like his next team to be somewhere he can compete for a championship and be with a team to appreciate it.
Coming up Wednesday, DeAndre Hopkins, Dalvin Cook, Ezekiel Elliott. I'll tell you which one would make your team a title contender. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here. ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
This
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene. Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat and follow along the program here. We do all of these top 13 rankings because Jeremy is Mr. Superstition.
Hey, I got 13 tattooed all over my body, all right? That was my number for the greatest athletic achievements that I've ever had. In the YouTube comments, feel free to throw in your greatest athletic achievements, which we will be using when we open up the phone lines, and that'll be how you start the call. Kevin the Elder God, he hit a hole-in-one on the same hole 1 year apart. That might be the most impressive thing I've ever heard. It was 1 year apart to the day.
Wow.
I have never hit a hole-in-one, and it's something that I really want to do,
but
really bad.
Eventually you'll get your shot, right? Eventually you'll hit a squirrel, and it'll bounce in the hole.
I've come close. I lipped one out at Municipal on 8 about 2 years ago. It was literally like tracking the hole, and then I hit the lip, and it went boop.
I was gonna say, was it? Were you robbed as much as Gordon Sargent was at the U.S. Open?
Yes, yes, I was.
If you missed that, the 2022 NCAA champion Gordon Sargent from Vanderbilt. Was he on the 18th? I think he was finishing up his final round and hit one. And apparently, when they took the flag stick out of the 18th hole, they disrupted the cup somehow, and he hit a perfect 2.5-foot birdie. Or I don't know if it was birdie, but he lost a stroke because of it, because it went in the cup and out of the cup. And a lot of people lost their mind. A lot of golfers lost their minds about that, saying that the PGA should go back and change it because they didn't fix it. They didn't fix the disturbing of the cup, whatever that is.
Well, it's where the edge is messed up or anything.
I get it, but I mean, is it really that big of a deal?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
if I had gotten hoosed on one of those, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. It's going to be bad.
Kid still finished 4 over par for the tournament. He was the low amateur for the U.S. Open, so he's got that going for him. I'm sure we'll be hearing that name, Gordon Sargent, more in the years to come.
No doubt.
Reigning NCAA champion from Vanderbilt. Yeah, but robbed on the 18th green.
But today it's a Power Rankings Tuesday.
That's right. And we're doing position by position groups leading up to the 2023 NFL season. And today it's cornerbacks.
And now to start this, I feel like with the other positions, we didn't do a great job of talking about the guys that you just barely missed the list. So if you had guys that you feel like don't belong on this list, but they're really close, who would that be?
Ooh, as best corners in the league? I don't know. It's hard for me not knowing who made your top 13.
Well, it's fine. If they made it, I will tell you. So like a guy like,
I don't know. I would say
so PFF did a list. And my list is in the ballpark, but it's not quite there.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple guys in their top 13 that did not make mine. Charvarius Ward. He was close, but he didn't make it.
Okay.
Jamel Dean from your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Did not make it?
He did not make it.
Okay. I was going to say Carlton probably didn't make that
Carlton
list
Davis didn't either. He was not as close as Jamel Dean, but he was in the ballpark.
Mm-hmm. Xavier Howard is probably one that's not in your top 13, but just a bit outside.
After last year, he can't be. Now, we could be looking at that completely differently a year from now when he's got Jalen Ramsey on the other side of him. And I considered putting him in at 13, but there were just 13 of them that I like better.
Mm-hmm.
What about Trey White?
After last year and the injuries, he's close. Mm-hmm. I feel like between him and Teron Johnson, Buffalo is in better shape with their corners than people might think.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would have Tre'Davious White just outside of the top 13, and I'd have Taron Johnson probably right around 30.
Okay.
You mix that with Kyer Elam, who I think will have a little bit of a jump in year two. I'm not as worried about the Buffalo secondary as I was. As I've specifically doing the Mullet Man and the Canadan Ultimate Fantasy Draft Kit, I've been watching some 2022 tape that's made me feel a little better about Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the most recent thing we saw, they got absolutely annihilated by Cincinnati.
Greg Newsome from Cleveland would be an outside.
He was in the debate, but he would not be. For me, he would be in that lower 20s.
Marlon Humphrey.
Marlon Humphrey is actually in my top 13.
Okay, I got you.
I know the analytics don't love him, but I feel like he gets a bad rap because he is avoided more than people think, especially when he had Marcus Peters on the other side, because Marcus Peters was the definition of boomer bust. So I felt like he was straight away from, and then he gave up a couple big plays, and with the analytical guys, now all of a sudden you're a bum. Same thing with Jalen Ramsey, who's much higher on my list than people would think.
Mm-hmm.
He got burned a couple times. Well, he's obviously lost a step. No, he hasn't. He just got burned. Yeah, Trayvon Diggs made him look dumb to dumb to dumb dumb. He also thought he had a safety over the top. So it's blown coverage. It happens to everybody, except the number one, who might or might not play for the 2023 Super Bowl champion New York Jets.
We all know who your number one is.
I don't know. He might not be.
How about your number 13? Asked in the YouTube comments, Tyson Carter wanted to know Denzel Ward.
Denzel Ward is in my top 13.
I figured he had to be. That's why I brought up Greg Newsome.
Kevin the Elder God asked about Tariq Woolen. Also in my top 13. Tyson Carter also asked about Stephon Gilmore. Also in my top 13.
Okay. All right, so let's get into it. Top 13 corners for the 2023 NFL season. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. Number 13.
Trayvon Diggs. Dallas Cowboys.
That seems terribly low.
It's not. Look. All right, and Jake shaking his head. Do you think I'm too low on Trayvon Diggs?
No, I think it's at the right spot, honestly.
Here's the thing about Trayvon Diggs for me is you can't, and I'm going to reference a name that I just said, you cannot tell me how great he is and not give the love to Marcus Peters. Because they're virtually the same guy. It's just Trayvon Diggs has had more recent interception success than Marcus Peters did.
Mm.
And I'll be honest with you, I considered him. Not seriously, but he was he would have been in that late 20s range. I'm still firmly of the belief that he should be re-signed by Baltimore. I just think there are guys that I can put on an island and feel better about than Trayvon Diggs. Now, here's where I could look stupid, and I still don't feel that I am. I have Stephon Gilmore in my top 8. Okay. I know he's a little older, but I feel like Stephon Gilmore is going to get number 1 coverage. He's going to take the number 1 receiver. So now you're going to see Trayvon Diggs with the 2. He's not getting as many of those dynamic, terrifying receiver matchups. And all of a sudden his analytical grades go up. And all of a sudden the yardage goes down. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't look as bad as like Kevin the Elder God said. He gets lit up yardage-wise. That's been my problem with Trayvon Diggs forever. The good is great. But there's a lot of boomer bust that I'm just not super wild about. Do you you think I'm too low?
I said it sounds too low.
But do you think it is?
I don't think it's too low. It sounds too low because of the gaudy stats, because of the 9 interceptions that he had his rookie season. No, he didn't have that last year. But, I mean, statistically, did he get better in coverage last year? He still got burned a lot. He was still one of the top corners in the league when it came to surrendering yardage.
Yes.
But
and that's the
overall,
thing.
His coverage grade, according to PFF, because it's what we look at a lot with this.
It's the easiest way to quantify.
But improved year to year, right?
It did. I mean, and that's the thing. He's getting a bigger sample size, and now I think he's going to get his biggest sample size, and this may be the best year he's ever had. Mm-hmm. It may not be statistically. I wouldn't be shocked if the interception numbers took a dip. But they might not. They might not. He is going to see more action than he has seen in quite some time.
All right, Trayvon Diggs of the Dallas Cowboys, number 13. Number 12.
This may seem high, and maybe I'm projecting a little bit.
Okay.
J.C. Horn.
I had him at 12 on my list.
J.C. Horn. Look. When your allowed passer rating is 48.4, I don't care how few snaps that it is. I wasn't giving up 1 touchdown in his career. Mm-hmm. And I understand he hadn't played a ton. I loved him coming out. I think he is an elite number 1 corner in this league. Do either of you disagree with me on that?
Do not.
So for me, I don't feel like it's too high. I mean, yeah, there were a couple guys. So I'll just go ahead and tell you. My 14 was Chidobe Awuzie. Mm-hmm. From the Cincinnati Bengals. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily that I think J.C. Horn's career trajectory says that he's actually better right now. His upside is exponentially higher to me. I feel like Awuzie is safe. And maybe I'm swinging for the fences. Maybe I'm projecting more than I should. But I just feel like I feel like there is that you've got a year coming for J.C. Horn, especially now that he's got Ajiro Vero coordinating this defense. Now that you've got an offense that I feel like is not going to put you in just continuously bad situations. And I feel like things have improved in front of him. I think this could be the year where you see J.C. Horn really take that step. Mm-hmm. We expected him to do it at the same time as Surtain because they came in the league at the same time. He actually went over Surtain. But he hasn't necessarily, and yes, I understand how bad Denver's defense was last year. I don't think he was as ready coming from South Carolina as Pat Surtain was coming from Alabama. I also don't, this is going to sound like heresy when I say it. If you told me 3 years from now we looked at J.C. Horn as a better corner than Patrick Surtain, I don't think that's as crazy as other people do.
Really?
I think his high side's that high.
I wouldn't disagree.
Because I think he has more. Nick Saban got it all out of Pat Surtain. Mm-hmm. And he came in as a ready-made, kind of like Marlon Humphrey. He came in as a pretty ready-made, he's going to start quick, and he will stay where he is. Mm-hmm. There could be another level of J.C. Horn that we have never seen before.
I like it. J.C. Horn at number 12 from, of course, your Carolina Panthers. At number 11.
Marlon Humphrey from the Baltimore Ravens.
Is he still that guy?
Yes. And I'll be honest with you, there are not many players in this league that I less understand why they get so much shade than Marlon Humphrey. I just don't get it because when I watch Baltimore, does he give up catches from time to time? Sure. is he also asked to do more than practically any corner in the league? He wound up in the slot way more than I wanted him to.
He did.
And I feel like last year was it's not that I'm giving you a mulligan. Mike McDonald's a first-time defense coordinator. He knows Marlon Humphrey is the do-all. He knows that Marcus Peters is limited in what he can do, and he's the interception machine. So he took his do-all and asked him to do entirely too much. Is that a crazy thought to say that? Because I don't think it is.
No.
And I could see a path where he learns from the experience, and next year we're looking at Marlon Humphrey more the way we did 2 years ago than the way we do right now. Stephen Towle, one of our resident Baltimore Ravens fans, said it's because he doesn't get interceptions, but he's a forced fumble machine. And see, to me, those two things mean the exact same thing. Either way, the ball is in my hands now.
The ball over. Right.
I don't care how you did it. And Marlon Humphrey might be the best tackling corner in this league. So, to me, all of those things matter. I almost felt like I had Humphrey too low, but I can't project him over any of these guys that are in front of him because they were so much better than him last year.
Right.
So I can do the projection, but I also can't be stupid.
Number 10.
We'll get to that after the break. It's time for a commercial, and we have one of these because Tank's not looking at the screen, and I can tell.
Yeah.
I'm your huckleberry.
Somehow we put his screen directly in front of his camera, and now he looks at the screen less than he did before. Figure that out.
Wait. I thought that was Jake's job. I thought Jake was supposed to be monitoring the chat.
Does he have the button? Trust me, we're going to get to that point. You're asking him to do button things that 5 years later I still don't understand. So we got to take baby steps. Matthew Hoffman answering our question of what is your greatest athletic achievement? 3 different championship teams in the same year, 3 different sports.
Wow.
Let's
That's
go.
impressive.
There you go.
Let's go.
That is impressive.
I was, I had a jersey. So, but there were no titles.
Did you never win a championship at any level?
Nope, I don't want to talk about it because some of them came real close.
I feel like that's hard to do. Like you were never even on like a little league baseball team.
Oh, no. I won a lot of those. I'm talking about I didn't get a ring. There's no rings in my trophy case, which is still that's a point of contention. No, I won a lot. I won AAU tournaments. I won plenty of Pee Wee and Youth League and things like that. Right. No, I'm talking.
That's hard to do.
I'm talking stadies. There's no jewelry, AAU nationals or anything like that.
Right.
I won none of those. I came closer as a coach than I did as a player, and I'm still a little salty about that.
You are in the Sportsocracy. What is your best or your greatest athletic achievement? Hit us up in the YouTube chat. Eventually, that may be how we identify you, or you identify yourself on this program. Love to hear all of the thoughts and all of the great achievements of our lovely listeners. We'll be back with the top 10 of the cornerbacks to have, or the best cornerbacks for the 2023 NFL season, right after this.
This is your Time Saver Traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slowing, 26 westbound west of Chimney Rock Road to approaching Hendersonville Road. Again, 26 westbound slows approaching Long Shoals Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. On the Captain Jeff Bourne Bridge, traffic moving well, no delays reported. Hendersonville Road, north and southbound in Fletcher, approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road, southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road, light delays. On the Charlotte Highway, no problems. Smoky Park Highway, moving well. I'm Lehman Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blue Ridge Health. At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
This Thursday, iHeartRadio is partnering with Global Citizen to join artists, activists, and global citizens around the world, calling on world leaders to take urgent action against climate change and to power our planet. Celebrate the movement with Lenny Kravitz, Billie Eilish, Her, John Batiste, Phineas, and many more. Performing live. Join us for Power Our Planet live in Paris. Listen to Global Citizen Radio on the free iHeartRadio app. Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific.
Are you hungry for the inside scoop of women's soccer?
I'm Sam Mewis.
And I'm Lynn Williams.
And we're professional soccer players, best friends, and the hosts of Snacks, the only women's soccer podcast hosted by active players that gets into the most recent news, gossip, and fun of the NWSL, the women's national team, and the delightful, delicious world of snacks.
It's a weekly show that features great guests from the world of women's soccer, recaps and previews of the biggest matches, and the two of us hanging out with you.
You can listen to Snacks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset you need to own the day. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at your local retailer today.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match, only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
You might not know this, but the Ingles Bakery is actually a bakery. As in, we bake things. Really delicious things. Things like crusty breads just waiting for that scrumptious strawberry jam. Apple fritters to pair perfectly with that morning cup of coffee. Cakes for any occasion, customized to your precise standards. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
The Sportsy.
That's the way I feel when my team wins. And if I want to jump up and down when my team wins, and if I want to hug my players when they do good, I'm going to do it.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
Longest rejoiner in the history of time.
It is, but I had to get the baseball drop in here. I'm feeling very baseball-y after the 5-game winning streak the Red Sox are on, sweeping the Yankees over the weekend. No big deal.
What was that, put you in fourth?
Well, you know.
Awesome.
Sometimes it sucks to suck.
You want a participation trophy? I'll give you a cookie. You can have a cookie.
Oh, come on. You were excited when your team won 5 out of 7 games in this last NFL season, and then what happened?
We set the table for my 2023 Super Bowl champion, Jets, Jets.
How many Jets can he squeeze onto this top 13?
Hey, I considered DJ Reed.
I'm sure
he
you
was
did.
in these others receiving votes with A.J. Terrell from the Atlanta Falcons.
A.J. Terrell's not in your top 13?
He was. Do you know how many touchdowns he gave up last year?
I mean, it was 9. I get it.
It's a lot. It's a mess for a player to end up in this list.
But the rest of his team was horrible. I mean, that doesn't
Well,
mean
I mean-
that he's
Well, I mean,
he has
no.
talent.
You,
it doesn't mean that he's
you
bad
phrased that
now.
poorly. He, along with the rest of his team, was terrible. So, sorry. Only got 13 spots here, and your play last year did not dictate you possessing one of them.
All right, no A.J. Terrell in the top 13, but we do have Trayvon Diggs, who is number 13. Number 12, J.C. Horn. Number 11, Marlon Humphrey, which brings us to the top 10. Number 10, corner to have for 2023,
James Bradbury of the Philadelphia Eagles.
hard to argue with this guy being on the list
He's gotta be
after
on the list.
that performance that he and Darius Slay had last
He
year.
fits this scheme ridiculously well. Now, and you might ask, why is he so low? There's 2 reasons for that. One, I have a history of some up and down play.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that was bouncing between schemes. Well, here's the thing. We don't know that this scheme is going to look exactly like it did a year ago because you lost your defensive coordinator.
But it's also, in stops before, he was expected to be the one.
And that's the other point of this, is that there's another Philadelphia Eagle that's still yet to be named on this list,
right?
Which means he's going to get 2 coverage. And I just feel like I feel like Bradbury is. I hate to say safe because he has had some up and down, but I kind of do feel like he's safe.
Mm-hmm.
In the YouTube comments, Tyson Carter asked, "Who do you have as your best rookie cornerback?" Mine is Devin Witherspoon, because I think he's going to play in the slot with Seattle a good bit early. There's been a lot of really good early returns. Emmanuel Forbes is a little raw. Christian Gonzalez in New England is in a system that is notoriously hard to learn. And apparently, as proved by Jack Jones, it's also hard to forget to put guns. Don't put guns in your suitcase. I literally probably flown 1,000 times in my life. Never gone, oopsie poopsie, I left my bang bang in the whatever will I do?
That screams he didn't do that. To me, that screams he didn't put that in there.
Do you remember the knock I had on Jack Jones when he was coming out? Because I loved the tape. He ain't a rocket surgeon. Yeah, I'm not even. I have had.
So he intentionally, in your opinion, he intentionally put the Glock box into his luggage to try to get 2 guns past security, thinking, they're in a box, it'll be fine.
So it makes more sense that who do you think did it? Robert Saleh? I mean, do you think Aaron Rodgers snuck that into his bag? Look, I flew a lot when airline security was really, 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 really tight. And now the fact that you actually want to use that as a defense is really funny to me, because they would ask this question of, did you pack your own bags? And I never knew who that question was for. Who in the world else would have packed them? I mean, if you got somebody, I'll listen.
Multi-million-dollar football player, I'm sure he's probably got somebody.
Yeah, well, they probably weren't stupid enough to put a Glock.
I mean, they're
box in
fired now.
100%.
They don't get to pack the bags anymore. But Mr. Assistant, whoever that is, you're.
And Kevin the Elder God was also a very astute synopsis in our YouTube comments. Wasn't he the guy that tweeted out how dumb John Morant was? Yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
That's why you should be careful of the stones you throw on the Twitter box. Trust me, I have to think about that quite often. Ooh, is that something I could do? Then I'll just shut up now.
All right, James Bradbury is your 10 for 2023. The top 10 corners here. How about number 9?
Tariq Woolen, Seattle Seahawks.
I thought for sure you'd have him higher. As much as you love the kid, as much as you just glow
I do love the kid. I do love the kid. Look, you're a rookie that's on this list, okay? PFF didn't even have him top 15.
Did they not?
The thing about him is he's got a little bit – I'm not throwing shade. I'm not trying to get the Seahawks fans, up the old keister again, as they've been there throughout the entire draft process. I'm not throwing shade at the kid. You had a lot of interceptions. You were very good, but the quarterback rating is still a little higher than I want it to be. The good was great, and he's a rookie. I'm not throwing shade at him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at the list of guys in front of him, not one of them has failed to be an all-pro. So that's not me throwing shade. And look, I think with Devin Witherspoon, he'll be even better this year than he was last year. But just, okay, let's calm down. I saw a list with him at 3. And I went, you must actively be smoking crimes, because if you're not, I don't know how you got to there, because that's lunacy to me.
It's the overreaction to what you saw in 1 year.
Because that's what people do. They overreact to the most recent thing that they've just seen. And Tariq Woolen is great. If you remember when we did the expansion draft thing in the draft last year, Tariq Woolen was my 4th round pick. And I laughed a lot. So I love the kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a shot. It's just maybe let's not put these unrealistic expectations on him. I hate to even make this comparison because I don't think they're the same player, but I think a year from now we could be in the same boat with Trayvon Diggs, where, he has another big interception year, but maybe that quarterback rating even goes up because now you've got Devin Witherspoon in the slot that's really physical, and that appears where they're going to play him.
Mm-hmm.
He could see more work than you want him to. And that could lead to the analytics liking him even less, and me, honestly, probably liking him even more.
Just like Trayvon Diggs, with Stephon Gilmore being there with the Dallas Cowboys this year. He could still get torched. There could still be splashy special plays.
No doubt.
but
he's a great player. Great player. No shade to Tariq Woolen.
Mm-hmm. You are in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. When we come back, we'll get weird. We'll continue with the top 8 of the corners for 2023.
We have to take a little break so we can all wring out our shirts because it's about to go full Girls Gone Wild in here because I think it is 904 degrees in here.
I've been threatening to take my shirt off, and they're asking me not to.
I'll go
for
home.
those of you on the YouTube stream, I feel like this would be a special moment for you.
Oh, it'd be a special moment. You'd never forget it. Let me put it that way.
It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Flash flood watch continues all the way into Thursday. Juicy weather pattern for the start of summertime. Much of western North Carolina under flood watches here into the midweek forecast. Mid-60s for tonight with slow-moving downpours and thunderstorms. Quite capable of dumping half-inch to 1-inch rainfall totals. More thunderstorms Wednesday, high 67, and thunderstorms Thursday with a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is time ago, 26 westbound west of Chimney Rock Road to approaching Hendersonville Road due to a disabled vehicle. Right lane closed. 26 westbound slows approaching Long Shoals Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. On the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume is busy but volume moving well. Smoky Park Highway, no problems. Patton Avenue, incident-free. New Leicester Highway, no delays. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 16 minutes. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Verizon. Ready to take control of your phone plan? Well, then you better take that next turn to a Verizon store. Because my plan from Verizon is the kind of control we all deserve. Get exactly what you want. Only pay for what you need. Get my plan at your Verizon store today.
Why do you change your car's air filter? Because when it's clogged, it doesn't work. The same is true of your nose, the body's air filter. It's great at trapping allergens, dust, and viruses, but unless you clean it regularly, they can stay trapped, making you miserable. I'm Martin Hogue, inventor of Navage, the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, helping to flush out allergens, mucus, and germs. Here's a testimonial from a verified purchaser and a big Navage fan. Quote, I've been suffering for 30 years with chronic sinus infections and allergies. I stumbled across Navage. The suction is amazing. It cleared my sinus cavities better than anything I've tried before. Unquote. Navage has over 120,000 reviews with a 4.6-star average written by people who use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Wash your body's air filter with Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
The free iHeartRadio app covers the sports teams you love like no one else. Catch the latest breaking news from national to almost every local sports station in the country. Plus, don't miss the NBA draft this Thursday. Make the iHeart app your go-to to stay up to date on all things in the sports world. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It is ESPN Asheville, and as you all know, I'm a big history guy. Like, I love history, and when I saw,
I didn't know where he was going with that.
What?
Uber doesn't. The driver does. said I'm a big guy. He could have left it there. Sorry, I didn't mean to do it.
Anyhow, I love history. I like, when we go on vacations and stuff, I like picking out the historical sites and taking the kids to the, to the forts and all of the things. And one thing I wish that I could experience myself would be to see the wreckage of the Titanic. If you've not been following the news today, there is a, very disturbing turn of events that has happened because Ocean Gate Titan, that is the name of a submersible that apparently takes famous people down deep into the ocean to actually check out the wreckage of the Titanic.
Of which I don't know why you would do that when they shot a $1 billion documentary on this.
Mm-hmm.
Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't need to know anything else about it other than watching that wonderful
documentary.
Documentary.
And
cinematic gem of Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet in Titanic.
Never seen it.
Which is baffling to me. Like, you grew up in a time, too, where, like, that should have been, like, a date night movie.
Yeah, here's the thing. With Titanic, when that became a thing, my only response was, I read the book. I know how it ends.
I read the book.
It's called a history book. I think I know how it ends. Bet you she's going to go out in the ocean, and something bad's going to happen. Spoiler alert.
And she did. We all know the story, but we are unsure, and they're trying to figure out what exactly happened with this tourist trap kind of a thing. I mean, but $250,000 is what they charge the elite of the elite to be able to get into this submersible and go down and see the wreckage of the Titanic. Well, the submersible has gone missing. It is somewhere on the ocean floors. They don't know. They are trying an underwater rescue mission to try to find it. They say there is 40 hours of oxygen left inside the submersible. So wherever the submersible may be, there's time to hopefully find everyone aboard alive. And we all hope that that is what happens. There's a couple of famous people. There's a billionaire and his son that are on the submersible right now.
It's a very sad story.
It is it's terrifying though. But I got to think, if you had the chance, would you do it?
What? Would you go down to the Titanic?
Right.
No.
I'm
good.
How much was it again?
$250,000.
So you think a new house or go see the Titanic?
Well, and again, you're a billionaire.
Well,
I mean, obviously, you're not like, Joe Schmo working the 9 to 5 going, I'm really going to save up my money so I can go see the Titanic.
Yeah, and we know you're a young man, but if you get the opportunity to buy a house for $250,000, you might want to check out the neighborhood because it's probably not going to be the nice new house that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
It might be downwind of a sewage treatment plant. It's about what $250,000 will get you in Asheville.
We're all praying for the best in this scenario, but I see this much like the going to the moon thing or going to space thing.
I'm out on all of
$1 million and you can take a ride up to the International Space Station. I'd consider it if I had the money.
Nope, $1 million. Playboy Mansion. That's number one. And then I'm just going to buy my own island.
Were you just going to like rent a room for a night at the Playboy Mansion, or you couldn't buy it for $1 million?
No, I could buy a good a week with $1 million. All right.
Is it still functioning at this
I
point?
have no
do
idea.
They still do that?
I have no clue.
No clue.
Not gonna lie, I just
know
found
they
a new
did
set
this.
of documentaries about murders that have happened of people that have been in Playboy. Can't stop watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Watched 4 episodes last night. It's the reason I got bags out of my eyes.
Right.
Because I literally watched 4 of them after midnight.
I did not know that they did this. Although it makes a whole lot of sense. How are you going to keep paying for that? Those millions and millions of dollars you're pouring into the research on the sinking of the Titanic. Well, you will just charge $250K a pop for you to go down and see it. Be something I'd be interested in, but I have a feeling their business is going to drop off a bit after this.
A little bit. As well it should. My story is about something that I know drives Tank crazy because he is cheap as dirt.
Mm-hmm.
I am a big tipper. All right. I am one of those people that go to a bar and you're invariably going to get at least 30% from me because you are providing a service. You are having to make the cocktails that I am slamming into my face hole at a rate that is usually reserved for Charlie Sheen and Gary Busey. You have earned this tip. There is now a viral trend. Self-checkout kiosks are asking for tips. Let me get this straight. I was annoyed when I would get a black coffee at a coffee house and they would spin around the little tip and I would still tip. I'd still throw 15% on that bad boy because you at least poured the cup of coffee. I'm doing your job and you're asking me to tip you for it. What? But I don't work here, and I had to bag my own shenanigans, and now you want me to tip you for the right to put my things in your bag. Are you on drugs? Who looked at this and went, "This is a great idea"? And you know what's funny? People like me will still find a way to do it because I get so intimidated when that tablet spins around. Like, I wonder if they see what I hit here.
I think about that every time.
Like, if I hit okay quick enough, do they see that I hit 0? Because you didn't do anything except the job that you're paid to do. Stop putting tips on everything. If you earn, trust me, they're probably tip your mailman. Okay, if you're one of these people that gets packages all the time, tip your mailman. He's got to hike it up your driveway and fight Foofy, your dog that will never bite anybody. Mm-hmm. Tip that guy. Tip your garbage guy. He knows how much you drink. Tip that man. But there are people, if you're not doing anything, you don't get a tip.
No, you don't. I hate this so much more than I ever thought I would. Like, just asking for a tip, to me, is sketchy. I mean, like, you remember when you'd go to the restaurants, and if you got not necessarily when you do it for big parties. They do it for big parties, but they also go to some restaurants will give you here's how much we think you should tip us. Like, we'll put the number at the bottom just so you know.
But that's not really telling you what you should tip.
No, but that's how that comes off to me.
Well, that's like, because you can do math.
Not doing that.
You ever want to really know why they do that? Stop at a McDonald's. Any McDonald's in America. If your order is $7.85, give them $8.52 and watch their brain break.
Watch it.
It's one of my favorite pastimes. They will call a manager and go, "I don't know what to do now because I don't have my cell phone to tell me how much their change should be." Mm-hmm. Or give them a loony or a toonie. I swear they'll quit. I'm done.
I'm right there with you on this one.
I can't work here anymore.
Yeah. That was the best thing about Ireland was you did not have to tip anywhere.
I'm in favor of tipping. Tip your waitress, tip your bar staff, tip people that are doing a service for you, 100%. Tip them 100% of the time.
Yes.
I don't care if you're supposed to or not. Tip those people.
Yes.
But, okay, you turned around a tablet. You served the same function that a swivel adapter would do, and I wouldn't tip that, which means I'm not tipping you. Okay? Shirley, and stop looking at me with that look when you spin it around and go, "Oh, he didn't give me extra money because I've continued to live on the opposite side of this tablet."
Mm-hmm. Jeremy likes to poke fun at participation trophies. That is the participation trophy of the service industry. If you're just spinning the tablet and expected 15%, sorry.
Do you tip on pickup food?
Yes.
I do too.
I do.
I don't know if you're supposed to, but I do.
I mean, I think you should, right? You should tip the cooks.
But is that who it goes to?
See, I worked in a
That's what
restaurant,
I always wondered.
Know.
Where is this money going? Is it going to the owner? Because like you are providing a service, and I get that. I am an old school Ronald Reagan capitalist, so I am fine. But that's not actually who I was given.
I mean, don't we all give? Don't we all tip, expecting that that's going to get split up amongst the staff?
Oh,
right,
and
the back of the house staff.
Oh, and for the love of all that's good and holy, if you have one of those, do you want to round the change up to give to the children? I swear, I'll hear that and just go, I don't need the things in my hand that much. I really, because I'm not a bad man. I'm really not. I'm not a bad man. But just, okay, every time I go to a counter, I'm just giving to, and I don't even know if it's real. Do you want to donate to the SEALs? Did they call you and say they needed something? I'm lost of where we've gotten here.
Where's the money going if you're tipping a self-service checkout though?
Oh,
Straight to the
owner. AI bot?
I'm going
straight to the owner.
To the government, which is why I'll never do it ever. Because I'll tell myself it's going to the government, which means I'm hitting no every single time.
All right, Kelvin Joyner says only the servers split the tips.
See, that bothers me.
I know back in the day there used to be places that
there
would
are still
pool
places.
the tips, and the cooks would get a piece, and maybe it's not that big of a percentage as the servers get, and I understand that. I feel like that's how it should be. Everybody who had a hand in making that should get something.
Now, I will tell you this. I do this every single time I see it, and there are a couple menus around Asheville that do this. You can buy a round for the staff. I'll do that every single time. Every single time. Because it's usually like $10 or $15.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just, that's for everybody in the building. And I'll do it every time.
Patrick Holt says cooks don't get tips. All right, so whatever.
No, but a Walmart kiosk does.
Now that makes me want to tip less.
This is why, you know what?
Thanks for telling me about that.
This is why we need Mullet President 2028. I'll fix all of these things.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville Top 13 Cornerbacks for 2023. We're up to number 8. Since you said it earlier, I'm going to guess this is where Stephon Gilmore comes in.
Correct.
All right, he comes in the top 8.
I mean, it should. He's still an elite corner.
Mm-hmm.
Now, could this be the year he crashes into the ocean? Sure.
Maybe.
I'm becoming an older guy. It wouldn't stun me. But he's still really good. He was good last year in Indianapolis with nothing around him.
Isaiah Rodgers, look where he's at now.
I bet you he's not as good this year. Make
That
him
was
laugh.
good.
Make him laugh.
It's a low blow.
I guarantee you he's got 5 on it.
Oh. Stephon Gilmore now with the Dallas Cowboys going to, he
Does that make you like him
legitimizes
more or less this year?
Yeah, him individually? Actually, I guess it likes me more.
It does me. It's not really all that close.
I mean, because of Trayvon Diggs, that's pick your poison, right?
Yeah. You have to throw at somebody.
Right. If you're an opposing quarterback, you're going to have to pick your poison.
Yep.
I'm either going with the young kid or I'm going with the old guy. And, oh, by the way, the grizzled, savvy veteran, he ain't too shabby. And Trayvon is going to pick you. He's going to pick you off at some point. If you keep testing him, he's going to get you. Now, you may get 3 touchdowns against him and throw for 300 yards in the same game against Trayvon. But he's going to get you eventually.
No doubt. Now, I feel like my 7, it may be met with some rolling of eyes or gnashing of teeth because he was not particularly good last year, but this is how good I think he had been in the past. Denzel Ward. Oh, but he was awful last year. So was the entire Browns defense.
Mm-hmm.
It was coordinated poorly. Denzel Ward is elite. Elite. And I dinged him a little bit for last year. But Denzel Ward is a dog. And I feel like I have to say him in the same breath as the guy I have at 6. Because to me, they're damn near the same person.
Okay.
Marshawn Lattimore. I know that's lazy. They both went to Ohio State. They're both taller corners. They both deal with big physical guys. Yeah, and they're both practically equally good at it. But one, for some reason, is getting absolutely killed for last year, and the other one's not.
Mm-hmm.
To me, they're the same guy. And they're both absolutely elite corners in this league. Do either of you disagree with either of those two players?
Do not. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. That brings us to the top 5. We'll take a break. When we come back, we will reveal Jeremy's top 5 corners for 2023 next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic time ago, 26 westbound between Chimney Rock Road to approaching Hendersonville Road. Due to a disabled vehicle, the right lane closed. On the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume is busy and moving well. Patton Avenue, no problems. New Leicester Highway, clear of any incidents, and Smoky Park Highway, moving well. Hendersonville Road, no problems. Sweeten Creek Road, incident-free. Brevard Road, moving well. Long Shoals Road, no delays. Checking the drive time from Biltmore Forest to Fletcher via Hendersonville Road southbound. Drive time 11 minutes. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Verizon. Ready to take control of your phone plan? Well, then you better take that next turn to a Verizon store. Because my plan from Verizon is the kind of control we all deserve. Get exactly what you want. Only pay for what you need. Get my plan at your Verizon store today.
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, Jay, can you finish that induction range installation tomorrow?
Orders have really amped up at Nate's Electric.
We need to finish installing it first in Maine. Did we hear back from the grocery chain?
It's no shock he needs electricians, like yesterday.
Smart fridge. Everybody wants one of those these days.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Wendy's is open till midnight or later, so you can give in to the craving and go night mode. Now all of your favorite menu items just got their bedtime extended. You can get what you want even later, like the Baconator with 6 strips of bacon, or the perfect fries and Frosty Duo. If you're up later, then so are we. So go ahead and pull through the drive-thru. When the craving hits, go night mode at Wendy's. Open till midnight or later. All right, see ya later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The Sportsocracy.
That is good, clean family fun there, eh?
He said that Jordan Love is the best quarterback in the league.
Of course,
What else is he going to say?
He's on drugs.
He's not on drugs. They asked him, what do you think about your quarterback? And what is he going to do? Say, I really wish we had Aaron, and Jordan is really going to have a hard time. No, of course we got the best quarterback in the league. You have to say that stuff.
Yes. So for those, the YouTube sound went out for a second. I got to fix that. You missed at 5 was Darius Slay, and at 4, Jair
Alexander. Number 3.
Jalen Ramsey. He's still an elite player.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but he got burned by Stephon Diggs. Yeah, and on a defense that was pretty god-awful at times.
But that's not the first time you've seen Jalen Ramsey get burned.
Yeah,
it comes with the territory.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's going to get burned at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Deion Sanders got burned quite a few times in his career.
And the versatility is special. Look, he terrifies me in Miami. I hate that he's in the division.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say that definitively.
Number 2.
Patrick Surtain.
This kid's unreal.
He is unreal.
12 times last year. He gave up, under 25 yards? 25 yards or fewer to his opponent. That's insanity.
And Patrick Surtain is as good as any young player that has come into this league in the last 5 years at any position. He's just a fraction behind, to me,
the number 1.
Clearly the best corner in the league. But you're a homer because you're a Jets fan. What stat would you like me to give you? 53.9 passer rating. 45.9% of his passes were caught. There were only it's unreal how people just avoided him. And it propped up DJ Reed. Sauce is the best corner in this league. This is not, do either of you disagree with that?
No.
I had him at 1.
Oh, and by the way, he's 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So he could actually get better.
He could. But would it shock you to see him regress a little bit this year?
Yes, with that pass rush, it would stun me, to be really honest with you.
Okay. All right.
That defense is going to be terrifying.
I did just be wary of, not necessarily one-hit wonders, but maybe the rookie year was a little too much. He bit off a little too much more than he could chew to be consistent anyway.
Yeah.
It was a great year. I'm not saying he's not number 1. I'm just saying he may not be the greatest of all time. Okay?
I didn't say he's greatest of all time. Statistically, he had the greatest rookie year of any corner ever. So, there's that.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Thank you for joining us here on this Power Rankings Tuesday. Power Rankings, now closed. Coming up next, we got the Sports Center update, and then it's daily draft time where we will be selecting, Jeremy, myself, and Adam Morrison will be selecting our best secondaries for 2023. Next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Flash flood watch continues all the way into Thursday. Juicy weather pattern for the start of summertime. Much of western North Carolina under flood watches here into the midweek forecast. Mid-60s for tonight with slow-moving downpours and thunderstorms. Quite capable of dumping half-inch to 1-inch rainfall totals. More thunderstorms Wednesday, high 67, and thunderstorms Thursday with a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Tyson Furniture.
At Tyson Furniture, we have a huge selection of furniture, honest values, and great service. We are a big store, and Black Mountain has wonderful restaurants and interesting shops to explore. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.